So let me log into one more account. So I'm going to log in with one more account, which I have. So if you have any doubts regarding yesterday's class, you can ask me. Meanwhile, I can give you some clarification on that. So the main thing is my account, one of my account is suspended, but I'm using a new account. Give me 1 minute. So I have logged into the account, now we need to understand about, AWS console. So right now, once you logged into the account, the screen you can see here, right? This is called as AWS Management Console. So what are the things you can do with this Management Console? Management Console is a place where you will do everything graphically, right? So the first thing you need to understand is how to access AWS services from the AWS Management Console. There are, few ways to access the AWS services. The first way is, from the console itself, you can see here all services. You can find all the services here itself. Okay. So if you want to go to any other service, for example, if I want to go to the Ec2 service, I can click on the Ec2 service and it will redirect to the Ec2 dashboard. Right now I'm in the Ec2 dashboard. In this Ec2 dashboard, you can see all the things like running instances, all the things you can see here. So how to go back to the console again? If you want to go back to the console again, simply click on this, icon, AWS icon. Simply you can click on the AWS logo. Again, you are back to AWS Management Console. So the thing is, here itself, you can see recently visited services. So here they have given the opportunity to see all the recently visited services. So if you are frequently accessing this service here itself, you can click on that. So this is one place where you can access the services. The second place is after the AWS icon. You can see after the AWS icon, you have services, right? You can click here and you can find, services, all the services here. So this is also one of the places. This is the second way you can access the services. And here also left side, you can see it is showing recently visited services. So here you can also do one more thing, that is nothing but you can add any of the service to the favorites list. For example, I want to add Ec2 service to the favorites list. Then we can simply add that using the star button. You can see I'm just clicking on the star. Now it is in the favorites list. Let's say I want to add S3 to the favorites list. Just click on the star button, it will add to the favorites list. So this is one place. And the third place, you don't want, the service name. Just if you know the service name, you can type the service name directly in the search box. In the search box, you can see here, right? This is a search box. Where is it? Not sure, I'm not getting annotated here. Anyhow, so yeah. So this is a search box where you can type the service name. For example, I want to go to the Ec2 service. So type the service, anything you can type here. For example, I want to go to the Route 53, then you can type Route 53. You can see when I type that, it is showing all the things which are related to Route 53. This is the place where you can click. If you click on that, it will just redirect that to the Route 53 service. Now it is reloading the page of Route 53. Now you can see it is Route 53 homepage. So if you want to come back again, just click on the AWS icon. Again, you come back to AWS Management Console, right? So one more thing which is very useful and important is, this is the events button, notifications. You can say notifications. The bell icon is there, right? That is called as notifications, where you can find open issues, scheduled changes, other notifications. Even you can also find the events. So if you have any open issues, you can find the notifications here. Scheduled changes. If AWS is having any scheduled like maintenance things or something like that, it will show you something here. Any other notifications will show in the third one. But if you want to see all the logs, event logs, which are happening back end of the AWS, you can click on event logs. So these are happening back end from the AWS. You can see EC2 operational issue. This was the issue which is happened. The status is closed now. That means the issue is resolved. That is the issue, but the issue is closed. When they started this, they started on the 22nd and the issue has been closed. If you want more details about the issue, you can click on the issue and it will show you event data here. Clearly it will show you it is resolved, and they will show you what happened, what is the main main cause of the issue, how they resolved everything. They will show you here. And also you can see affected resources. The affected resources is the area where you have to see if any services you are using, or for example, if I am using EC2 instance, is there any affected EC2 instance because of that issue? You can find that here, right? So this is very useful thing. And one more thing is, the very, very useful thing is, the account section. In the account section, you can find all the things like, account ID. This is the account ID. We will discuss about remaining things, my organization, service quota, my billing dashboard, all these things we will discuss later. We have a separate class on IAM. So we will discuss on IAM, but right now you need to understand. So your account details, your organization, if you want to go to your organization or you want to see your billing details, you can go and see here. Right now you need to understand this is not my root account. That means I will not have all the permissions. Okay. If you use the root account, you will get all the permissions. That also I will explain you. What is your root account? Okay. Once I complete this, console tour, we will discuss about what is, a root account, right? The next one is, regions. Here itself, we talked yesterday about regions, right? AWS is having, more than 22 regions. All regions you can see here. For example, you can go to the, console again. Now I'm in the console again. Right now you can see North Virginia is the region. Right now I am using North Virginia. For example, if I want to choose another region, so maybe I want to choose the Mumbai region, then I have to click on Mumbai region. So what happened is, remember that, for example, I have launched 2 instances here in the Mumbai region. And, if I change to North Virginia region, whatever the instances I have launched in the, Mumbai region, I cannot see that instances in the North Virginia. That region is different. And this region is different. That means Indian region, that means Mumbai region is totally different. You have launched 2 instances in Mumbai region. That instances will be available only in the Mumbai region, not in the North Virginia region. Remember that. So sometimes most of the people, when they are studying, when they are practicing AWS, most of the people do some mistake. What is the mistake? They will launch an instance in one region. Later on, they will change the region to another region, and they will forget to terminate the instance. Then you will end up with the big bills. Okay, you have to pay more amounts for the AWS. See, we'll also discuss what is a free trial and what are the limitations of free trial and all these things. But you need to understand, when you are doing practice, once the practice is completed, you have to terminate the instances, because you are doing this for only practice purpose, right? Is it clear? So the next thing which you need to understand is, support. So when it comes to support, you have a lot of things. The first thing is like, support center. Even you will get experts help, forms, documentation, training, getting resources. Getting started with resource center. See, these are all, very useful things. First thing I will go is support center. If you go to the support center, you will find few things. What are the few things you will find? Support center itself is useful for, raising a case for the AWS. We can raise 3 types of cases. Case is nothing but support ticket. You can say support ticket, but you can raise 3 types of tickets. One is, you can see here, account and billing related issues. For example, if you have any issues related to account and billing, then you can raise a support ticket on account and billing support. Okay, this is the first place where you can choose account and billing support. For if you charge more than what you have to be charged, then you have to raise the account and billing support ticket, and they will resolve the issue, and they will send you an email regarding that. In the same way, service limit increase. Service limit is nothing but so if you use any AWS account, there will be a limit for your account. For example, I have created my AWS account, and by default you can use 20 instances in a region. That is a limit they have. If you want more instances, if you want to launch more instances, then what you need to do is, you need to create a case regarding service limit increase. You need to say that I want more instances in this specific region, and please increase the limit. They will see, and they will ask you, what is the reason you want to increase the instances. They will just ask for technical reasons. Okay, why you need more instances? Are you launching any application? Are you launching anything? Okay, they will ask something, and once you provide the answers, they will provide you more instances in the specific thing. And we have technical support. Technical support is nothing but, for example, you stuck up somewhere, you stuck up in some of the issue. One of the EC2 instance is not working properly. You are not able to log in with the AWS account. Even you are not able to log in with the EC2 instance. So the main 2 reasons which are one is maybe human's mistake. That means we are doing some mistake, maybe some firewall issue like security group issues or anything, or else it may be from AWS side issue. If that is our issue, we need to resolve that. So if there is some issue in the backend of AWS data center, we need to raise a technical support ticket, and they will resolve the issue, right? That is how we have to raise the cases. This is called as how we can create a case in AWS account, right? So one more thing you need to understand, these nothing but there are 3 to 4 plans. First one is called as the basic plan. Okay, first one is called as basic plan. So when you create an account itself, it will ask you which plan you want. If you choose the basic plan, this is a free plan. You don't want to pay a single rupee also. This plan is free plan. But there are lot of drawbacks. You will not get any support. You will not get the support in specific time periods. That means if you are facing some issue, if you want a technical support very quickly, then it is not a good plan. Only for practicing purpose, students who are practicing or who want to learn or explore AWS, they can use the basic plan. Always we have to use basic plan. But in real time, most of the people will choose either, we have different plans called as, okay, yeah, we do have a plan called, enterprise plan. Okay, this is the topmost on all the plans. Enterprise plan is nothing but, so you have to choose a lot of you can have a lot of visibility, and you can also contact the AWS people very quickly. So the time period for SLA also very less. You are within some 4 hours or something like that, you will contact AWS and they will give you the solutions. Let's see AWS support plans. Yeah, here it's there. Yeah, we have developer plan, business plan, and enterprise plan. So enterprise is the topmost one, and it will have a lot of priority than remaining plans. You will be getting 24/7 phone support, email support, chat support from the AWS engineers. Unlimited cases, you can create unlimited cases. Generally guidelines, guidance is less than 24 hours, the issues will be resolved. System impaired issues will be resolved less than 24 hours, 12 hours. Production system impaired issues will be resolved less than 4 hours. And production system shutdown issues will be resolved in less than 1 hour. Business critical system downs will be resolved in less than 15 minutes. So you can see this is the highest plan they have. And this feature, this business critical shutdown, is not available in the business plan. It is not available in the developer plan. Are you getting? So apart from these three, we do have the basic plan. Basic plan means it is totally free. So always when you are creating your own account, always choose basic plan. If you are creating an account for your organization, for example, you are creating an account and that is totally a new account, and it's better to contact your manager, and you have to explain what are the plans we have in the AWS and which plan is suitable for our company. You need to explain to the manager. Then they will decide, because cost things you can't decide, right? So you can explain what are the benefits and all these things. So this plan, developer plan, is $29. You need to pay $29 per month. And coming to the business plan, you need to pay $100 per month. And coming to the enterprise plan, you need to pay $15,000 per month. It is very high, right? So these are the different plans, for the support. This is support plans. Okay, remember that. Again, this is the difference. You can see here we have business critical system down. If you have any system down for your business critical applications, they will resolve that within 15 seconds, less than 15 seconds. This is the SLA time they have taken. SLA means service level agreement, service level agreement. If they are not able to resolve this issue within 15 minutes, then they need to provide why they are not able to resolve the issue. If they are not resolving in time, you can also there is a policy called AWS Credit Policy. You can ask for the credits of AWS. So because your SLA time is 15 minutes, you cross it the 15 minutes, either I need an explanation, I need a credits. AWS credits are nothing but they will credit you some amount in your account, okay? Because they have not meant this SLA time period. But that will not happen most of the cases. If that happens, you have to write that, write an email to them. They will definitely provide you, AWS credits on your account. That credits you can use for, paying the bills or whatever it is. So the next thing is, this specific thing is not available here. And you can also see in the developer plan, we don't have the production system impair. You can't get this in time. Production system down also, you will not get this here. So there are a lot of chances. where we need to choose a specific plan, support plan. It is very important. So in my case, it's better to use business plan for the companies who are like medium level companies who want to migrate from their on-premises data centers to cloud, because most of the cases you need support from AWS. If you need a quick support, it's better to go with the business plan. Then who will use enterprise plan? Enterprise plan will be used by very big projects, for example, like Intel projects, AMD projects, or you can say, very big projects, the project which have the, scope of, global scope. That means that application is used by global people and it is using a lot of resources inside the AWS. Then it is better to use enterprise plan, but it's for very big companies. So that's about the support. And then we need to understand, see, at any time you can change you from one plan to another plan. For example, this month I am in the developer plan. Next month, if you want to change the developer plan to business plan, that is fine. But from the next month onwards, you need to pay $100 instead of $29. Okay, the next month, if you want to change from business plan to enterprise plan, that's fine. You can change at any time, but you need to pay $15,000, right? So this is very important thing to understand. You can't decide, you can explain to a manager or, or a team lead saying that these are the AWS plans we have, you can choose. I mean, you have to explain what is the benefits of, one plan to, you have to provide the difference between, this plan and that plan and this plan. That means 3 plans we have right now, paid plans. You need to show them the difference and you need to tell them this is the best plan. You can go with this plan. And, it's up to them whether to go with that plan or another plan, because the budget and all these things will not be decided by AWS architects or DevOps engineers or anyone. Got it? This is very important to understand. So coming to the next topic, so that's about AWS Console Tour. You can say Console Tour. So what we learned in the Console Tour, we know how to, go to the services in different ways. We know how to go to the services in this, same body itself. We know how to go to the services of, besides this AWS icon, we have the option, even we can type in the search box. We know how to see the notifications, from here, the bell icon, how to see your, account details, how to change the region. But remember that region, when I talk about region, please remember that when you choose a region and launch an instance in the specific region, that specific instance will be available only in that region. If you change the region and if you try to find out the instance there, you can't find there. So when you are doing practice or when you are learning, it's highly recommended when you complete the practice, just terminate the instance. That will be very safe. Okay. And you know how to visit the support. Even you can go to the documentation. AWS is providing a lot of documentations for each and every topic. There are a lot of topics. You can see for every service there is a topic. If you go to the EC2, okay, that is the specific service, right? In EC2 we have different guides. User guide for Windows, Linux. We have user guide for Nitro. We have normal user guide for scaling, auto scaling. API user guide, API reference guide. We do have a lot of guides here. So, for example, if I click on this, you have different versions of documentations. You can access the document using HTML, PDF, Kindle version. Even you can access from the GitHub. For example, if I click on the PDF, it will simply show you the PDF version. You can even download that version. So it's just downloading the PDF version here. So, only I have shown this document. It is only for the Linux, right? It is having 1539 pages. Just imagine how much document you can get from the, AWS. So you have a lot of resources where you can access from this documentation. but it is very difficult to understand all these things in the documentation, right? So they will have mostly they will provide all the solutions here. Most of the things you will get. Whatever the solution you want, just go to the documentation and check. If you're not able to find it, you can find from the Google also. But most of the solutions will be found in the documentation. They will give you the examples also. So it's very useful for, for the architects and also for the sysops administrators and also developers. So if they want to refer the API reference guide, they can refer. If you want to see the limits, you can see the limits, right? They will give you a step-by-step understanding about everything. But when you have to learn specific topic, you can come and learn here. But don't think that you want to learn all this 1539 pages. That means 1539 pages. It's highly impossible to learn all the things, and it is highly impossible to read all the documents because you have a lot of documents, right? So whenever you need on a specific topic, you can go there and you can search there, right? That is a useful thing. I hope you are clear about that documentations. So we do have training, this training part, if you ask me the training part, so AWS training is a paid training where they will charge you around 50,000 rupees in India for taking this training and all these things. It is not that much important to take the training from the AWS, investing 50,000 rupees, right? So the same type of training we will also provide, right? So the next thing is we need to understand about the next service, IAM service. So what is IAM? We need to understand what is IAM. Yesterday I have given a small introduction about IAM. What is IAM, right? So now we are going to discuss in depth about IAM. 1 minute. I want this tool. I'm not able to get the tool. So I'm not able to see the annotate tool. Okay, we'll use this. So in this class, we are going to discuss about, what is IAM, okay? So IAM, what is IAM? So IAM full form is Identity and Access Management. Identity and Access Management. So IAM is a place where you will create users. You will create users. You will create groups. You will create groups, and you will also create permissions. So remember that, guys, you can create users in IAM. Okay, what is users? Okay, you need to understand. See, AWS, when you create an AWS account, right? Let's say this is AWS. When you create an AWS account, right? First time while creating, it will ask you, one email. Okay, you can use your personal email, that's fine. You need to provide your personal email address here. And while you are creating your AWS account, you have to provide the password also, right? You need to provide password. And also, for the first time when you create, from the date onwards, you can use 12 months, some of the services, not all the services, some of the services for free of cost. Some of the services for free of cost. So remember, when you create a AWS account, at the time of creating an account, you will provide the email address and the password, right? This email address is called as root account. This email account is called as root account, right? And the next one is this root account will have all the privileges. That means he can do anything in the AWS account, right? He can do anything in the AWS account. He can create, he can delete, he can do anything. So this account we should only use for the initial AWS setup itself. From then onwards, we should not use this account. This is very important to understand. AWS root account only we have to use for the initial setup. We will not use later on, because it is not a secured way to use. That is the reason we have to create some users. We have to create some users. You have to create some users, then we have IAM users. We can create the IAM users. You can create IAM users. For example, here I am going to create a ROM user. Okay. I'm creating a user called Bob user. Okay. I'm creating a user called Tom user. Example I'm giving. Okay. So for example, ROM is a, administrator. Then what I can give is, what I can do is for the ROM, I can provide administrator access. Administrator access. For the ROM, I can provide administrator access. Okay. Bob and Tom are developers. Only they will, work with some of the services. For example, they will work with the Ec2 service. Okay. They will also work with the S3 service. Okay. Then I will only provide these two services, not entire. I will not, give the permission, administrator permission for the developers. Only few services I will provide the permission, like Ec2 service or S3 service. What about the ROM? ROM is an administrator. He needs administrator access permission so that ROM can do anything. Okay. So once you set up the initial things from the root user, first thing is you need to create users, IAM users. Then you need to create groups. Then you need to create permissions. These are the things you need to create. First, when you create a user, remember that you have to understand who is the administrator in your organization and provide the access for him. So if you are the administrator, you have to provide, yourself the administrator access. For developers, you need to provide a specific service which are required for them. For testing team, you need to provide, specific thing for the specific services. But you will not provide all the access to all the users. Remember that. But here, the problem here is, we have a lot of users, assuming that we have a lot of users. We have a lot of IAM users. We have a lot of IAM users. So, for example, we have user 1 up to user 10. This all users belongs to developer team. So I want to give full access for the Ec2 service. Okay. For the Ec2 service for every developer. Then what I have to do, normally I have to go to the user and assign the Ec2 full access permission for this all the users. Instead of giving the permission for all the individual users, what you can do is you can create a group called developers, or you can say dev team. You can create a group and you can add all the users to the dev team. Okay. Once you add all the users to the dev team, for the dev group itself, you will give Ec2 full access permission. So what is the advantage here? Instead of giving the permission individually for the users, you are giving the permission for the developer group. Okay. Where all the developers are part of this group. So you don't want to worry about giving individual permission. Once you assign, EC2 full access permission to this developer group, all the users in this group will get this specific permission. That is the advantage of, creating a group. So the next thing is, so coming to the permission, see, I'm giving a theoretical knowledge first. If we are good with theoretical knowledge, practical knowledge, it is very easy. I know you can simply do it with the graphics. You don't want to worry about coding or something like that. Okay. Theoretical knowledge is very important because, if you are going as a AWS architect or, sysops administrator or developer, you need to understand, how to minimize the, work. If you do the same work, for a long time, it's waste of time. Instead of assigning individual permission for every user, we can use a group and assign the permission for the group. It is a simplified work. So let's talk about permissions, right? Actually, permissions are called as policies. In AWS, we will call it as policies. Okay. Policies. So AWS have different policies. Okay. AWS is having AWS managed policies. The first policies are called as AWS managed policies. That means these policies will be managed by AWS. You cannot delete them. You cannot delete them. Either you cannot edit them. Okay, you can use them. Okay, these are AWS managed policies. The second type of policies are called as customer managed policies. Customer managed policies. These are the policies which we will create. So how we can create? We can create the policy using JSON document, or we can use visual editor. We can use, JSON formatted. You can create a JSON formatted file, and you have to define what are the things you need to give permission. I will give you an example for that. But for customer created policies, you have two ways to create. One is JSON document or visual. Visual creator is nothing but, you don't want to prepare anything. Graphically, you can do that. You can choose any of these things. Okay. And apart from these two policies, we do have one more policy. That is a third policy that is called as inline policy. Inline policy. See, first policy is called as AWS managed policy. This policy can be attached to users, groups, okay, even for the roles, okay. And customer created policy also can be attached to users, groups, and also roles. So coming to the inline policy can be attached. See, for example, if you want to create an inline policy, you can create this inline policy from the user level or group level. Remember that only if you create the inline policy, okay, once it is created, a specific user can access the policy, or we can attach this policy only for the specific user. You can't attach the inline policy to multiple users. Whereas AWS policies can be attached to multiple users, multiple groups, or multiple roles. The same way, customer created policies also can be attached to multiple users, multiple groups, multiple roles. But inline policies can be only attached to specific user, not for multi users. Got it? This is about the inline policy. So about users, about groups, about the policies. So the third one, in the theory, this is the last one. The third one we need to discuss about roles. So coming to the roles, what is a role? So role is nothing but, for example, normally policy, we discussed about policy is nothing but permission. You can say permission, okay? policy is nothing but a specific user we are giving. If you attach a specific user some sort of policy, let's say this policy is EC2 full access permission. This user can access the EC2 service without any restriction. Okay, we are assigning the policies for the users, and also you can assign to groups. We can assign this to group. Let's say dev group. We can assign the policy to groups or users. So what about role? The role is mainly used for, giving access from AWS service to another service. For example, we have EC2 server. EC2 server. This is our EC2 server. Right? Now EC2 server want to communicate with the S3 bucket. By default, you cannot communicate with the S3 bucket. What you need to do is, we need to create a role. Okay, while creating the role, for the role you can attach the policy. I will attach S3 full access policy for the role. Once you create the role and attach the policy S3 full access policy, then what you can do is, you can then attach this role to the EC2 instance. Then the EC2 instance can communicate with the S3 bucket. This is the use of role. Role is mainly used for giving the access from service to service. That means if you want to communicate from EC2 service to S3 service, we need a role. So first you need to create a role and attach a policy to the role. Once the role is created, then you have to attach this role to the EC2 instance. Then EC2 instance can communicate with the S3. This is what the use case of roles. So these are all things we will do practically tomorrow, not today. So I hope you are clear about today's class. We have discussed a lot of things. These are very useful things. Okay. First thing is, we have discussed about console tour. We know how to access services, and we know how to see the notifications. We know the building information. We know how to change the regions, and we know how to contact the support using a case ID, and also we know how to get the documentation. We have discussed about the support plans, which are very useful. No one will explain you support plans in detail, because this is not important for administrators or for the developers, but as a solution architect, you need to explain to your manager or team lead, saying that this plan will be useful for our company, or this is the difference between developer plan and the business plan, and this is the difference between the business plan and the enterprise plan. You need to explain them, then they will decide that which plan they want to go. So then we have discussed about what is IAM, and what are the different things you can do with the IAM. So we have discussed about a root user. Root user is nothing but the user which will be created when you create a AWS account. That means the user which will be created when you create a AWS account. That is called as root user. You will give the email ID. For example, let me log out from this. Sign out. So you have create an account, right? If you click on create an account, you have the option, to give this email ID. First, you need to provide this email ID. This is called as root account. This email itself will become a root account, and you need to provide a password, confirm the password, and you have to give the account password. There are 5 steps. This is very simple, creating AWS account. Remember that you need to provide the credit card or debit card information. They will charge you 1 rupee. If you are from India, if you are from US, they will charge you $1. Okay, that is also very important thing. First thing is, you need to create an AWS account, in order to practice, along with me. Okay. So remember that, okay, from tomorrow onwards, we will start our IAM topics and, remaining topics. Whenever we complete a specific topic, I will give you a specific task to complete on the same day. You have to complete the task, and you have to provide me, the details how you completed the task. and whether the task is completed or not. All these details I will check it. Okay. For tasks and all these things, we are going to use Trello. Trello is one of the app we will use. For the examination preparation, if anyone want to write examinations like solution architect or developer or anything, we are going to provide specific real-time questions. You can just write anytime. You can attempt the questions, or you can attempt the exam many times, and also you can get 90% to write the main exam. Got it? These are very important things you need to understand. So only for initial setup we will use root account. From that, once the initial setup is completed, that means creating Iem users, groups, and the permissions and all these things, then we will start using our administrator account. So from tomorrow we are going to do the same thing. So we are going to use the administrator account, creating that, and we will also see what is multi-factor authentication, how we can assign multi-factor authentication. Okay, and also we will see how we can assign multi-factor authentication for all the users without without scanning from the administrator. Okay, that is very useful thing in the real-time organizations. If you have 100 users, you see multi-factor authentication, we can use applications like Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator. But the thing is, if you want to scan your code, you should not go to the administrator, and you should not scan from the administrator PC. It's a very big task, right? Instead of that, what we can do is we will write a policy saying that they themselves can scan the code, MFA code from their systems. This type of things we will do, which are very useful in the real time. Okay. With that said, for today we are ending this session. I hope you enjoyed this session. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow with different topics which are useful in the real time. Okay, thank you very much.